There's a kind of pain that doesn't scream, it just lingers. A quiet ache in the soul. It comes late at night when no one's calling and the world has forgotten your name. You sit there staring at the ceiling and you wonder, did I waste my life? Did I waste my youth on people who never saw me? Did I waste my time on dreams that never woke up? Did I waste my love on people who didn't know how to hold it? If you've ever cried in silence, if you've ever looked in the mirror and questioned your purpose, if you've ever whispered through trembling lips, God, where are you? This moment is for you, because I came to tell you something today. The years you thought were wasted, God is about to redeem them all. Section 1. Raw honesty and recognition of pain. I know what it feels like to carry the weight of silent regret. I know what it means to lose seasons of your life to confusion, to betrayal, to war, both on the outside and the inside. To feel like your heart is a battlefield and every memory is a scar. You try to smile for the world, but inside you're exhausted from surviving. You ask yourself, how did I get here? The energy is gone. The hope is thin. And worst of all, you feel forgotten. Forgotten by people. Forgotten by time. Forgotten by God. But listen to me and hear this deep in your soul. God never forgot you. Not for 1 second. He saw every tear you cried in private. He felt every betrayal that broke your spirit. And he counted every second you spent feeling unseen and unheard. And now he's getting ready to redeem every single moment. Station, personal realization, and spiritual awakening. There was a time I thought my story was over. I had wasted years chasing the wrong dreams. I built my life on things that eventually crumbled. Friendships, careers, identities, all of it fell apart. And when I looked back, I saw nothing but failure and wasted time. But then God whispered something that changed everything. He said, I don't waste pain, I transform it. I realized then, the years I thought were wasted were actually years of preparation. Every setback, every heartbreak, every loss, it was all building something in me. It was teaching me resilience. It was growing my faith. It was awakening my identity. You see, God doesn't just heal, He rebuilds. And when God rebuilds, He never uses cheap material. He takes your brokenness and forges strength. He takes your shame and births purpose. He takes your wasted years and turns them into the foundation for your future. Section 3. Faith and identity. Who you are to God. You are not what you lost. You are not the mistakes you made. You are not the years the locusts have eaten. You are a child of the Most High God. And in His economy, nothing is wasted. Not a single second, and not a single wound. Not a single silent cry. You see, while you were looking at time slipping away, God was looking at your roots growing deeper. He was building strength in your spirit. He was solidifying your character. And He was preparing you for something far greater than you ever imagined. Sometimes God hides us to heal us. Sometimes He delays us to protect us. Sometimes He allows the loss to awaken the truth. And here is the truth. You were never forgotten. You were being formed. Section 4. The power of inner peace and unshakable faith. Peace is not found in everything going right. Peace is found in trusting God when everything goes wrong. Let me say that again. Peace is trusting God when nothing makes sense. I've had to walk through seasons of uncertainty where the only thing I could do was cry and pray. But in those moments, I discovered something priceless, that God's presence is most powerful when the world goes quiet. When your phone stops ringing, when friends disappear, when the applause fades, that's when you hear his whisper the loudest. And that whisper is more valuable than anything this world could ever offer. Because faith, real faith, is forged in fire. It's not pretty. It's not easy. But it is unshakable. And when you walk through fire with God, you come out with a testimony that no one can take from you. Section 5, The Spirit of the Palestinian People, a story of survival and strength. And now I want to speak about a people whose strength echoes through generations. The Palestinian people, a people who have known suffering, displacement, pain, and loss, but also a people who carry an unbreakable spirit. You can take their homes, you can take their land, but you cannot take their hope. You cannot take their dignity. You cannot take their faith. I've seen grandmothers cradle babies in tents with tears in their eyes and prayers on their lips. I've seen young boys with nothing but broken sandals and unshaken courage. I've seen artists, poets, doctors, teachers, all rising from the rubble, holding on to their identity like it's gold. They are not forgotten. They are not forsaken. And neither are you. If the world doesn't see your value, God still does. If the world tries to erase your history, God still writes your story. You are not the headlines. You are not the statistic. You are the miracle that survived. Section 6. God's redemption is coming. Get ready. So what now? Now, you lift your head. Now, you stop apologizing for your scars. Now, you start believing that what God said about you is still true. Because here's the promise. I will restore to you the years the locusts have eaten. Joel 2:25. Not maybe, not if, I will. God is a redeemer. He doesn't just give you what you lost. He gives you more wisdom, more strength, more purpose, more clarity. Don't be surprised when he starts accelerating your healing. Don't be surprised when doors open that were once bolted shut. Don't be surprised when people come looking for you. The very ones who overlooked you before. Because your time has come. And what God is about to do in your life will silence every doubt, every critic, every whisper that said you were done. Section 7. A final word for the one who feels too far gone. If you're listening to this right now, thinking, but you don't know what I've done, you're right. But I know what God has done. And what he did on that cross covers every failure, every sin, every wasted year. There is no pit too deep that his hand cannot reach down and pull you out of. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not too forgotten. Your story is not over. It's just beginning. Because the author of your life doesn't write tragedies. He writes resurrection, finally charged, ending statement. So I say to you, rise up from the ashes, from the heartbreak, from the years that looked like nothing but loss. Rise up, because your Redeemer lives, and he's about to return everything the enemy stole. Double, triple, pressed down, shaken together, running over. This is your season of restoration. This is your time to dance again. This is your moment to believe again. The years you thought were wasted, God is about to redeem them all. So wipe your tears, straighten your back, lift your voice, and walk into your future like someone who knows God doesn't just give you back what you lost. He gives you back what you never even knew you had. When life feels like it's passed you by, but God's still holding your story, the pain you've carried is not your end, it's your preparation. You're more than your past. You're God's masterpiece in progress. Finding unshakable peace when the world turns its back. The unbreakable spirit that refuses to be erased. Get ready. God is about to turn your loss into a miracle. There are moments in life when you feel like time just slips through your fingers, like you're watching your own story happen to someone else. You wake up one day and realize so many years have gone by, years you thought you'd never get back. You feel invisible, like the world moved on while you stayed stuck in the same place, holding on to dreams that seem to have faded into the background. It's a heavy kind of loneliness, the kind that whispers, maybe you wasted it all. And I want you to know, I've been there. That ache is real, and it cuts deep. But here's the truth I had to learn. Those years weren't wasted. Not one single moment. Every tear you cried, every prayer you whispered in the dark, every time you felt like giving up, God was there, shaping you. It doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes it feels like silence. But that silence, it's not absence, it's God working behind the scenes, moving in ways you can't see yet. When I started to believe that, everything shifted. The pain didn't disappear overnight, but it began to have meaning. I began to understand that my story was far from over. It was being written with purpose. Think about the times you felt forgotten, by people, by opportunity, maybe even by God. That feeling is heavy, but it's a lie. Your value isn't tied to what the world sees or what you've been through. Your value is written on your heart by the Creator who knows every part of you, every scar, every dream, every silent prayer. The years you thought were lost, they were the soil where your strength took root. And now, that strength is rising inside you, ready to bloom in ways you never imagined. So if you're sitting there wondering if God really sees you, if He really cares about the time you think you've thrown away, He does. He sees it all, and He's not done with you. Not by a long shot. The same God who brought you through the darkest nights is the God who will bring your breakthrough. You are not forgotten. You are not wasted. Your story is still unfolding, and it's about to get beautiful. There was a time I believed my story was over, that my best days were behind me, buried beneath years of mistakes and missed chances. I looked back and saw nothing but failure, wasted effort, and closed doors. It felt like I had been running in circles, chasing dreams that dissolved like smoke. I wanted to give up. I thought maybe God had moved on, that He wasn't interested in the mess I had become. But then, in the quietest moment, God spoke a truth that shook me to my core. He doesn't waste pain. He transforms it. That realization changed everything. Suddenly, those years I thought were lost weren't empty at all. They were the very things preparing me for something greater. Every heartbreak, every struggle, every moment of doubt was not a dead end, but a turning point. They were the invisible stitches sewing strength into my soul. I understood that pain wasn't punishment. It was a tool in God's hands, shaping me into who I was meant to be. The broken pieces weren't trash. They were the foundation for a new beginning. If you're feeling like your past defines you, like your setbacks have labeled you as a failure, hear me now. You are not your mistakes. You are a work in progress, crafted by a loving God who sees every tear and holds every burden. Those years you thought were wasted, they were your training ground. They prepared you for the fight, for the rise, for the victory ahead. Your journey was never random or meaningless. It was intentional, even when it didn't feel that way. So don't be discouraged by the past. Don't let regret steal your hope. Instead, embrace the truth that God is still writing your story and the best chapters are yet to come. Your pain has power because it is the soil in which your faith will grow deep roots. When God takes what's broken and turns it into beauty, that's redemption. That's grace. And that's exactly what He's doing with your life right now, even if you can't see it yet. So many of us carry around the weight of who we think we are, shaped by failures, regrets, and the voices that told us we weren't enough. We look in the mirror and see a reflection of our mistakes, our lost opportunities, and sometimes even our brokenness. But I want you to hear this deep in your soul. You are not what you've lost. You are not defined by your past. You are God's masterpiece, still being crafted. This is a truth that changed everything for me. I stopped letting my past mistakes write my identity, and I started letting God's love rewrite my story. There was a time when I believed my failures would follow me forever, like a shadow I could never shake. But then I realized that God doesn't see us the way the world does. He sees potential where we see pain. He sees purpose where we see pain. He looks at you and says, "You are mine. You are beautiful. You are made for more." This understanding gave me the courage to stop running from my past and start embracing my true identity as a child of God, deeply loved and eternally valuable. When you claim this truth, it changes how you live. You no longer need to hide your scars or apologize for your journey. Instead, you begin to walk with confidence, knowing that every part of your story has purpose. Your identity is not built on what others say about you or what you've been through. It's built on who God says you are, and that identity is unshakable. It's the foundation that no storm can destroy. So today, if you're carrying shame, doubt, or the weight of lost years, I want you to release it. Let go of the lies that tell you you're broken beyond repair. You are not a mistake. You are not forgotten. You are a masterpiece in progress, beautifully flawed but loved beyond measure. And the God who made you is the same God who's going to use every part of your story to create something extraordinary. Peace doesn't come when everything around you is perfect. It doesn't come when the storm stops or when life suddenly makes sense. Real peace, the kind that settles deep inside your soul, comes when you trust God, even when the world feels like it's falling apart. I've learned this the hard way. There were days when everything was dark, when fear and doubt screamed louder than hope. But in the middle of that chaos, something shifted inside me. A quiet, unshakable peace that wasn't tied to circumstances. It was God's presence, whispering to my heart, "I'm with you. You are not alone." That kind of peace isn't easy to find. It's not a momentary feeling or a fleeting emotion. It's a decision to believe when your eyes see nothing to hold on to. It's faith that keeps you standing when every reason inside you wants to fall. I remember nights spent wrestling with God, begging Him to show up, to make a way, to break the silence. And slowly over time, that wrestling turned into surrender. A surrender that brought me peace, even without answers. Because peace isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting the one who does. When you learn to lean on God in the silence, in the waiting, that peace becomes your anchor. It steadies you when the waves crash, when disappointment knocks at your door, when loneliness wraps around your heart. And that peace carries power. Power to silence fear, to calm anxiety, to heal wounds that words cannot touch. It's the peace that passes all understanding. It's a gift God wants to give you right now, no matter how hard the journey has been. So if you're tired of pretending you're okay, if you're exhausted from trying to hold it all together, I want you to know it's okay to rest in God's peace. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be strong on your own. Let go of the need to control and let God carry your heart. Because when you do, You'll find a peace so deep and so real, nothing in this world can take it away. There is a spirit that refuses to be broken. A spirit that no matter how many times it's knocked down, it rises again, stronger, fiercer, and more determined. I think about the Palestinian people and their unyielding courage in the face of unimaginable hardship. Their story is one of loss, of displacement, of homes torn apart and futures uncertain. Yet, through it all, they carry a fire inside, a fire that says, "We will not be erased. We will not be forgotten." That kind of spirit moves me because it reminds me that no matter what you've been through, you carry that same strength inside you. It's easy to feel crushed by the weight of the world, to believe that when doors close and opportunities disappear, it's because you don't matter. But the Palestinian people teach us that your value isn't determined by circumstance or recognition. It's found in the heart that refuses to give up, in the hope that refuses to die. I've seen families holding on to their dignity even when everything around them seems to be falling apart. I've witnessed resilience that can't be measured by medals or trophies. It's the kind of resilience born from faith, from a deep knowing that there is something greater holding them up. You might feel like you're fighting a battle no one else sees, a war no one else understands. But just like the Palestinians, you are not alone. There is a power within you that's unbreakable, a spirit that can withstand the storms of life. And more than that, there is a God who sees your fight, hears your prayers, and walks with you every step of the way. You are not defined by your pain or your losses. You are defined by the fire inside you, the hope that keeps burning even when the night feels darkest. So today, remember this. No matter how hard it gets, you carry an unbreakable spirit. You are a survivor. You are a fighter. You are more than what the world tries to write over you. The same God who sustains the Palestinian people sustains you, and his strength will carry you through. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are powerful beyond measure. Right now, I want you to lean in and listen closely, because what I'm about to say could change everything. The years you thought were wasted, the moments you begged God for a break, the dreams you thought were shattered, the time you thought was lost, God is about to redeem them all. Not someday, not maybe, but now. I know it feels like you've been waiting forever, like the world has passed you by while you stood in the shadows. But this waiting, it's not a pause, it's a preparation, and your breakthrough is closer than you think. There's something powerful about redemption. It's God's way of saying, I see your pain, I see your struggle, and I'm making something beautiful out of it. I've walked through seasons of brokenness and silence, feeling like nothing was moving, feeling like my story was stuck on a painful chapter. But then I realized God's restoration isn't about erasing the past. It's about weaving every scar, every tear, every lost year into a tapestry of hope and victory. Your story isn't over because of what's been taken from you. It's just beginning. This is the moment to prepare your heart for what God is doing behind the scenes. It might not look like what you expect. It might come quietly, gently, like a seed breaking through the soil. But it's real, it's powerful, it's unstoppable. The same God who gave the Palestinian people strength to rise, the same God who held me through my darkest nights, is the God who's ready to restore your life. So hold on to that hope. Let it fuel your faith. Let it ignite your spirit. Because the years you thought were wasted, they're about to become the years that make you unstoppable. The years that teach you resilience, that build your character, that prepare you for a divine comeback. So get ready. Get ready to rise, to shine, to reclaim everything the enemy tried to steal. God is not done with you, not by a long shot. The best is coming, and it's going to blow the world away. Right now, I want you to feel this deep in your bones. Every moment you thought was lost, every tear you shed in silence, every prayer you whispered when no one was listening, it all matters. God has been quietly weaving those years into a story of redemption, a story only He could write. Your past does not define you. Your pain is not the end of your journey. It's the soil from which your breakthrough will grow. So stand tall, even if your knees shake. Hold on tight, even if your heart feels heavy, because the God who has carried you through every trial is the same God who is about to turn your sorrow into joy, your waiting into victory. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are a warrior, a survivor, a masterpiece in the making. The fire inside you, that unbreakable spirit, is roaring to life. It's time to rise. It's time to reclaim your story. The years you thought were wasted, God is about to redeem them all. And when he does, the world will witness a miracle born from your faith, your courage, and your unwavering spirit. So step forward with boldness, walk in hope, live in faith, because the best is yet to come, and it's going to be more beautiful than you ever imagined.